Yo guys, what is up? It is Teacher's Game 2 coming at you again with another video here, and I am here to show you a pretty neat trick today that a lot of people don't use that they need to. They need to. This is not a joke, you have to use this. And that trick is how to get yourself free loot. Now, for those of you that don't know this, a lot of people store loot around the map in 3 different tames. The Purlovia, because it can bury itself, the Basilisk, because it can bury itself, and the Reaper King, hint, because it can bury itself. You can see the Purlovias that I have hidden along this way. However, you cannot see the Reaper Kings and the Basilisks. I've got about 5 of each, and it is a great way to hide loot because you can hide them in plain sight and no one would ever know they're there. Now what people do is they set these things on passive, put what they want inside, and then it's just free loot. And I'll show you what I mean. Let's say you happen to have a Reaper King. Hide whatever you want inside of your Reaper King and bury him. Now, you can see this. You can see the Reaper King. However, everyone else can't. And let me show you what I mean because we're going to unbury this guy in a second. So check this out. As soon as I unclaim him, once he gets this little thing, I can no longer see he's there. So these things are OP. Same thing with the Basilisk. First off, these guys have a turn radius of a Mack truck. And what you're going to do, bury him again. And again, you'll notice I can see the Basilisk. Options, unclaim this guy. As soon as I can't see him anymore, I guess as soon as he's not on my team anymore, this goes away. Takes a second to actually go away, but nonetheless you get the point. And there it starts to go. And then real quick, if you want to hide yourself at Purlovia, you can't ride them, but burying them, these guys are the only ones that when you unclaim them or they're buried, you can still see them. Because they leave this little mound up. Now, obviously, if they're on dirt, it's almost impossible to see them, so it doesn't really matter a whole heck of a lot. Diplocalus, not really sure why he's here, but oh well, you know, stuff happens. So now let's show you how to get this free loot. Because what people do is they hide all their good stuff after they've been raided or before they've been raided or if they're during a raid inside these tames. And they just put them around the map. Now the best way you can find these things is take, for example, on Extinction. If you fly around in the city or on the complete outside of the map, you will get a ton of loot, an absolutely insane amount. Now there are 2 ways to do this. One, Rock Drake. See how his feathers are losing their mind? That means there is a buried Reaper King nearby. Now I'm going to go ahead and go down here so you can see what I'm talking about. See how down here he's got no feathers out? I don't know where he's going to go, but he's going to go somewhere because he feels like it apparently. Now, what you'll notice is that his feathers are not up, which means that there are no Reaper Kings nearby. Oh, there's one over there. It's tamed, actually. So, notice no feathers are up. I'm going to kill this guy to get some meat off of it. Eat myself some food because I don't want to have this little indicator over my head the entire time. Alright, now we'll go back up. Now, basically, no feathers. And he's going to all of a sudden pull up his feathers. Boom. So you now know somewhere in this area there is a buried, unfriendly Reaper King. Which is obviously something you want to avoid. But almost always these things are on passive, so as soon as you pull them up, you don't have anything to worry about, which is nice. But this is like literally the easiest way to get free loot. Now what you need, a Featherlight, because you want to be able to do extra damage to the Reapers. Parasaur, Direwolf, one of those 2, and then either a Wyvern or a Diplodocus. Now let's start with the Parasaur. What you can do is you can run around and ping. And look at that. He locates the exact location of everything. I'm just going to go ahead and increase his stamina. Why not? I'll show you one more time. If you do his secondary attack. Right there. Pretty neat. Now, you don't have to do it with a secondary attack. You can turn on his turret mode. Enable turret mode. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and make sure his turret mode is on. Where is it? Alert settings, there it is. So we don't want him targeting all, we want players and tames only. And he will detect any player or tame that is nearby. and he'll keep doing it. Now, one of the easiest and fastest ways to do this is hop on your wyvern, which we're also going to level up a little bit here. And when you level up your wyvern, obviously do this, but you can still pick up your parasaur and make it a mobile detection unit. And you'll be able to find things, because he'll keep detecting things, and you just go nice and slow. And look at that. He'll just keep spotting players and tames, and you can fly around the map like this. And this is how you get the loot. Really, it's that easy. Now, if you don't have a wyvern and a parasaur, that's okay. Let's show you the next thing you can do. Not the easiest method by any means, but if you know something is nearby, let's go ahead and turn off the turret mode for this guy. You can take a direwolf. Now with a direwolf, in the new, I guess not new update, about a year ago, they made the update where direwolves can sniff things out. So check this out. When it sniffs, it can find hidden loot or hidden anything, because it can find things that are not yours, basically. And you'll get these little icons up here, which are pretty neato in my opinion, because it's like, okay, the direwolf used to be kind of useless. Now you can run around the map, especially the edge of the map, and just sniff things out. And he will keep locating those things for you, which is super handy. So we know they're there, right? Cool. So you know how to get the free loot now. Let's go ahead and bring up this guy right here so we can show you how to do it. The parasaur is here. We're going to enable the turret mode. And there are two things. Let's say you don't have access to a wyvern. You're going to need a diplodocus. If you don't have access to a diplodocus, get a wyvern. Now with the wyvern, you want to use the C attack when you're on the ground because it pushes things forwards. Any attack that pushes things forwards will pull this stuff out of the ground. And I'll show you what I mean by that. If I go over here, because I know there's some right here, the parasaur says there is, right there. Look at that. It pulls them right out of the ground. Now, we're going to go ahead and turn this way to show you it works with everything too. Come on. Oh, maybe it only works with the Reapers. That's unfortunate. Oh well, they changed that. So I can't pull anything out of the ground but Reapers with this wyvern. But fortunately for us, we have a diplodocus. Now with this diplodocus, if you use your primary attack, he pushes things forwards. Now, when you push things forwards, it pulls them out of the ground. Now, obviously, basilisks are not going to work like that, but Reaper Kings do. So there you go. I just pulled one out of the ground with this guy. Now, let's try again over here. Nothing. You'll notice up here. Boom. Look at that. Free loot. I am just going around pulling everything out of the ground. Now, first off, the diplodocus is really fast. They used to be slow. They used to be really slow. However, they changed it, and look at this. Pretty quick little tame here. Now, there we go. I've showed you how to pull all these guys out of the ground. So what you're going to do, go ahead and take this stuff right here, C4. Plop that down on that Purlovia. Boom, boom. Pulls it right on out of the ground for you. So, it does damage as well. Now let's go ahead and find this guy right here. You can see it's a Basilisk. And put some C4 down on him as well. That might be too close to my parasaur, so I'm going to go ahead and back him up a second here. Boom, boom. And it pulls him out of the ground. So this is how you pull all three out of the ground. Purlovia, C4, Basilisk, C4, Reapers. C4 does not work, but you have to use a wyvern and or a diplodocus. Now, as you can see, it's really not that difficult to pull things out of the ground. You know the Purlovia is there, put down a C4, and it'll pull down anything nearby. So I don't even have to put it super close. That Basilisk and the Purlovia get pulled out. Now, how do you kill these things? Because some of them are not very easy. First and foremost, if you were trying to kill yourself, we're going to go ahead and, not wave, that's not what we wanted to do. We want to light. Reapers take forever to kill unless you have a light on. See how they start to light on fire when I'm nearby with a light? Good. Now, there's a couple of things you can do. I can sit here and swing with the sword. And that's an option. I don't really want to do that because it's going to take all day. If you have a flamethrower, but obviously flamethrowers are quite expensive, So you usually probably aren't going to have it, but it does a ton of damage. You'll notice that. See how he's already bleeding pretty good? So flamethrowers work pretty well. Swords work pretty well. But really, if you don't want anyone to know that you did this, strap some seafloor to this thing. Seafloor. Whoops, misspoke. And you can do a ton of damage with C4. Come on. There we go. So just put it in the region of him. Notice how he's almost gone. And you're thinking, okay, if somebody's got a Buried Reaper, it's worth the C4 you're about to spend. Because now that it's dead, avoid that little path right there. You can check the inventory. Now you get that. Now, C4 is always good to have. Basilisks takes tons of damage from both swords as well as flamethrower. So those are things that you could use. It's entirely up to you. Both very effective against these guys. The easiest one to kill by far is the Purlovia. Flamethrower does wonders. So does the sword. But again, if you don't want people to know it was you, toss down some C4. Just destroy them that way. So, and then you can check their inventory. Now, same thing with the Basilisk. If you don't want somebody to know it was you, let's say it's an ally, let's say it's somebody like an alpha, just place down some C4 and then make it go boom boom. Now, these guys have tons of health, so it's going to take a while probably. Unfortunately. Okay, you're not going to let me put another one down? Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pop down another one. Notice this guy isn't taking very much damage, but he is a little bit. You can see a little bit of blood going there. But this is where one of those get him low with your flamethrower kind of cases. Now you can see the little bit of blood going there. We're going to get a little bit more. We're getting there. Obviously these things have tons of health, so there we go. Now, there you go. You can access the loot. Now this is really as easy as it is. You don't really need to worry about too much. Break out your flamethrower, take it on server, toss down some C4, run away. Got the Purlovia. Now, really, what we could do, and this is entirely something that's possible, we don't have to do this. You can just do this for the entire day, which is really neat actually, because if you think about it, this is free loot. It really is. You don't have to do anything super difficult to get it. Unfortunately, they're going to fall down. Ooh, I'm acid burn. Oopsies. Wasn't paying attention. But they'll fall down. You can go grab their loot. So, anyways, that is how you get free loot on any map. All you need is yourself a Parasaur or a Direwolf, a Wyvern or a Diplodocus, and some C4. And it really is that easy. And you'll notice this guy's very unhappy. If you really want, you can easily just attack them. But I usually like to not let people know it was me. So, that's my personal opinion. It's up to you. Alright, so hopefully this video helps you out. And I really do hope that you get some free loot, because it really is the easiest way to get free loot. Alright. So, anyways, if you don't mind leaving a comment below if you've used this trick before, because some people didn't believe me when I told them about this, and I'm 100% serious. This is a very regular thing that I do in order to check for loot. If you liked the video, if you don't mind leaving a like, that'd be awesome. And other than that, Teacher's Game 2, out.